If you are counting and restricting calories to achieve weight loss and body recomposition, you have definitely questioned yourself multiple times, how can I get maximum satiety with the least amount of calories? And there are just two simple principles to follow to achieve this goal. In this video we shall discuss these principles and follow with real-life meal examples that you can introduce into your daily routine for the benefit of feeling nice and full, providing sufficient nutrients to build your bodily tissues, and ensure adequate functioning of all your body physiology while not overtaxing on your calorie pot and continuing to lose weight. Principle number 1. Build your meal around the source of lean protein. Protein is the most satiating macronutrient. Yes, you've heard that right. It's not carbs, it's not fat, which one might think could have been the most satiating as it holds most calories per gram, but in studies it has shown to be less satiating than protein and sometimes even less than carbs. Protein effects on satiety are not based on its caloric value, but they involve hormonal responses, thermic effect of food, and also how protein affects blood sugar levels. Firstly, protein intake stimulates satiety hormones like cholecystokinin, GLP-1, which many of you have heard about in the context of Ozempic, Mounjaro, and the drugs alike, and peptide YY. These hormones send fullness signals to the brain, and at the same time, protein suppresses the hunger hormone ghrelin. So we get satiety signals up and hunger signals down. The second mechanism which determines protein's high satiety is its thermic effect. And by thermic effect of food, we understand the amount of energy, that is calories, that our body needs to use or burn to digest, absorb, and metabolize a certain nutrient. For example, to extract energy from the fat, we need to use 0 to 3% of the equivalent energy to the one we've consumed to actually get that nutrient metabolized. For carbs, this is 5 to 10%, and for protein, we're looking between 20 and 30%. So it's the highest thermic effect of food. And in order to break down the protein, our body has to use significant amount of energy, which increases our caloric expenditure. And last but not least, protein is known to slow down gastric emptying. Remember the satiety hormones we've just mentioned, cholecystokinin, GLP-1, and PYY. So the presence of protein in the meal causes their release, which in its turn reduces the rate at which stomach releases the food into the small intestine. And that means that carbohydrates that are contained within the same meal will not be released into intestines where they get absorbed as fast as without the protein. So if we eat predominantly carbohydrate-based meal without much protein, particularly with lots of simple and refined sugars, we will get quick release of them from the stomach into the intestine, quick absorption, and as a result, pronounced post-meal glucose spike. This glucose spike ultimately results in insulin spike, and as glucose levels start to fall in response to that insulin spike, we will experience rebound hunger sensation. However, the more protein is present in our meal, the more delay in gastric emptying it will result in, and with carbohydrates within the same meal being released into intestine much slower, we shall experience smoothened blood sugar level dynamics without or with much less pronounced peaks and without hunger episodes sometime after the meal. So principle number 1, ensure a source of lean protein as the core for your meal. Principle number 2 is to make sure that our meal has sufficient volume to fill our stomach and signal satiety to the brain at the same time, providing as little calories as possible. And the best foods to create such volume are the ones that are rich in fiber and water. Fiber and water-rich foods have double effect on our digestion. Firstly, they create high volume of bulk that activates stomach stretch receptors, and they signal to the brain, okay, I'm full. And also, they slow down the digestion because soluble fiber increases the viscosity of the food, which again reduces the rate of stomach emptying, and further in the small intestines, this soluble fiber forms a gel-like substance that covers the gut mucosa from inside and slows down absorption, particularly for carbohydrates, which, as we've discussed, prevents blood sugar and insulin spikes and post-meal rebound hunger. To sum it up, the most reliable way to get maximum satiety with minimum calories is to combine lean protein core with high volume fiber rich food side. If we want to build a meal that fits this framework, we need to start with a lean protein anchor. If you're not vegetarian, it can be chicken breast, turkey, fish, shrimp or egg whites. There's also dairy options like non-fat Greek yogurt or plant-based options such as my all-time favorite tempeh, edamame, tofu, lentils, and pulses. So we'll take this lean protein anchor and add high volume side to it, which is made of leafy greens and cruciferous water-rich vegetables. They provide fiber and bulk at the very low caloric cost. And quite importantly, in our cooking methods, we should use minimal added fats, meaning that we're not dunking all that goodness in oil or other calorie-rich seasoning, but use just a spray or teaspoon of oil or balsamic vinegar if necessary, because if we add oil to that or commercial dressing, we get added fat, added sugars that will crank up the caloric value immensely. So we take all these components and shape them into salads, broth-based soups, sautés or stir-fries, and we're good. Now, you might think, okay, how about garnish add-ons from whole grains and pseudo-grains like barley, quinoa, brown rice? Do they fit this framework? Essentially, they are an excellent fit, but we need to remember that they have slightly higher caloric density, so the more calorie restricted we are, the less of them we can add. And as regards nuts and seeds, which are extremely healthy, they're full of fiber, protein, micronutrients, and provide great sense of satiety too, unfortunately, they wouldn't fit our framework if our goal is significant weight loss and body recomposition, and this is due to their exceptionally high caloric density. And I normally advise to my clients who want reliable weight loss results to quit nuts and seeds for some time, or to consume them in very small quantities like half a handful per day while adding them to the food diary to count all these calories in, but definitely not snacking on nuts and seeds. Essentially, this framework with lean protein core and fiber and water-rich vegetable-based volume will allow you to satisfy both your protein needs, which are exceptionally important when you embark on body recomposition journey and aim to lose fat and build muscle at the same time, and they will also provide you with valuable micronutrients and fiber for your general health and body functioning. I'm confident that this concept will prove useful for your journey to better new you, and if you liked this video and think it was great, because I certainly think it was, make sure to check my other videos on this topic, where I explain how calories and nutrients work and interplay so that you can avoid common pitfalls, build a good nutritional strategy, and get the best results. And if you would like me to assess your lifestyle, all the different facets and aspects of it, and fine-tune it for your best health and performance, just check the link to my consultations and coaching in the description below. And I see you again soon in the next video.